Well, I just had an entire conversation about good and evil live on Facebook. Then Marilyn alerted me that there was no sound. I had the wrong setting for the microphone. Now I have the right setting for the microphone. The conversation that I was seeing if we can have among all these people that we have collected here is the distinction between good and evil. It is a long term consideration. This thing called good and evil. What makes good? What makes evil? The problem with the question is we have been for thousands of years building our knowledge, building up knowledge. Up and up we go. The farther up the line of knowledge we go, the farther away from good and evil we get. Because knowledge is evil, if you will. That's not totally true, however. So knowledge is of our past. It is of thought. It is of belief. And therefore, in this conversation, it's a lie because it's gone, already past. So the distinction I care to draw here is if you can drop your complex mind, if you can move backwards far enough to get back, let's say, to the Garden of Eden, before we ate the fruit of knowledge, before we became idiots who believe in snakes that talk and that sort of thing, then here's my distinction, or here is the universal truth about the distinction between good and evil. In the simplistic form, good is when you speak the truth. Evil is when you lie. That's it. There's no other stuff until you start lying. Once you start lying, then you have to lie to cover the lie. Then you have to lie to cover the lie. And then you have to make all excuses, and then you have to say, well, good is only good when, and it gets extremely convoluted. So my suggestion is good is when you speak the truth. Evil is when you lie. And it's that simple. But as I said at the outset of this conversation, for thousands of years now, we have been lost in lie, if you will. Lie meaning knowledge, thought, belief, talking snakes, all of those things that causes us to have a world where we go to war. And then we get ready to go to war, and then we go to war. And then while we're doing that, we rape our women, and then we tell them they weren't raped, you're lying, and then we keep raping them. So the moment if we do, discover that our life is a total and complete lie, that observation instantly creates a world of perfection, a world, well, not back into the Garden of Eden, because that has a whole connotation connected to it, but essentially the same. Yeah, it would be. Then we would begin bringing our life forth from creation, from intelligence, from truth, not knowledge, thought, and belief, where we live today, lost completely in knowledge, thought, and belief. We pass it on. And the worst thing is, every generation, I have to go slow here, every generation gets a little dumber, a little more stupid, a little more lost. Confused is actually the truth of it. The truth of it is every generation becomes a little more lost because each generation, or the parents, pass their knowledge, their thought, and their belief on to the next generation. And when you pass a lie on to another generation, they accept the lie. The lie becomes larger because they don't even know it's a lie. So they then are living total and complete lie and don't know it. Of course, so did we, or so do we, if you will. If you look at the younger generation, younger than me, I'm pretty young though, so you got to get pretty young to be younger than me. You'll see they just repeat the ridiculous stuff that they've been taught. You see, you cannot be racist in 2020 unless you've been taught to be racist. You can't be looking down on women, having them be less than the big mighty man who gave his rib to that little wimp, unless you've been taught that. You can't be owning guns and call yourself a God believer, a Christian, unless you've been taught that it's okay to kill, okay to own guns, go to war, bomb, maim, and murder people, and still be Christian, you see, or Muslim, or Catholic, or what are those other things? Mormon. There's 4,200 of them. You cannot be all of those things unless you were taught to be them. Today's racist is taught to be one. Today's misogynist is taught to be one. And we have the greatest teacher, if you will, in the White House, the POTUS. He's teaching an entirely new generation to look down on women, black people, the disabled, all of them. That's the way people stay superior. You know, like in Hitler's day, he said, we are the superior race. When you copy things and it comes down, then when it gets to where we are today, then we are the great race. You know, superior is great is just a little below. So same dynamic, same idiocy. Just, I don't know how long has it been since 1930s, the 30s, I don't know. My grandparents left Germany when Hitler was about the same place Trump is today. So I guess if they lived in America today, they'd be packing up their bags and heading to, who knows, Sweden or I don't know where. Okay, so anyway, I made this entire video without sound. And the good news is this is a completely different one. None of what I said over there on that one I deleted it. None of what I'm saying now is on that one. And none of what I'm saying is anybody going to be paying any attention to anyway. So, anyway, it's fun to do. Evolution is perfect. You see, the gift you get with transformation, the birth of a new human being, with being free, is the observation of it happening. You see, that's maybe the only perk, because the rest of it is watching people kill each other, watching people grab guns, watching people saying, I'm a Christian, and if you take my stuff, I'm going to put a bullet right between your eyes because you're not going to steal my stuff. Or the Christian says, nobody's going to rape my daughter. I taught her to be a, what do they call that stuff? Kung Fu. Oh, well. All right. The fun's over for me tonight. I'll stop here and watch what this looks like. Hopefully I had sound this time. Damn. I made a 10 or 12 minute video just a little while ago until Marilyn told me I didn't know there was no sound to it. I don't know how I got so stupid in such a short period of time, but I'm here to tell you I did a perfect job of it. Thanks.